Hi, my name is Sophia Wormling, and I'll be discussing some social facts about me. The first social fact that I would like to discuss is that I'm the eldest daughter within a family of 8. Being an older sister is an instrumental part of my social identity, which is defined as a socially constructed category of people in which we place ourselves or are placed by others. Obviously, I had no say with being the eldest daughter. It's kind of just a role I was thrown into. But there are still societal expectations and norms set within being that eldest daughter. Commonly, we are expected to act as caretakers to our younger siblings. We are expected to be more mature and to be the ones that set the example. For example, I was always told when I was little to help this one with homework, to change this one's diaper. I learned how to change diapers. I learned how to cook. I learned how to help prepare lunches for my younger siblings. I learned how to kind of navigate things by myself. I learned how I would help with homework. I was kind of just setting like this example for my younger sisters. Because I was raised this way, it kind of illustrates that self-fulfilling prophecy of, because this belief was set, then I was socialized in that way, and now I hold it true to my identity. Being the eldest daughter has made me more nurturing, reliable, wiser, and has kind of shaped me within my friendships, as I'm kind of known as like the mom friend. I always am carrying the stuff that people need. I'm always there to help if there's a conflict, and I take on leadership roles very easily. The second social fact that I would like to discuss is that I have a very unique family structure. A social norm is an unwritten set of rules or behavior that is considered acceptable within a specific group or society. In American society, we still kind of hold this nuclear family expectation, which is that like two-parent, like mom and dad, and then the children. Also, the common number of kids that a typical American family has is about 2. My family deviates from this norm. We defy this norm, not necessarily by choice, but we defy this norm as my mom is a single mom, and I obviously am one of 8 children. The uniqueness of my family has become a very important factor within my identity, as I have this very large family. I grew up with no privacy. Obviously, there's always somebody talking, always children running in and out of the house, and I'm used to like just having a constant loud house. This has made me more social, more used to having people around me, kind of more ready to take on jobs, just used to teamwork. Having a single mother has also made me more independent and resilient, and has given me motivation to do well in school and hold school as a value and make her proud. I see her working hard, and I want to match that and be successful one day so I can return that behavior. The third social fact that I would like to discuss is that I'm originally from Chicago, but we moved to the suburbs. I believe that being raised in Chicago, in the Chicago public school system, has made me more of an empathetic person and has made me more culturally aware, more diverse. A social institution is a structured system that organizes and teaches behaviors such as family, education, and community. This combined interconnected system of social institutions are the social structures, and social structures in suburbs versus urban areas are very different. In Chicago, my elementary schools were diverse and culturally rich. I was the only white girl in my grade, not the only white girl in the school, but I was the only white girl in my grade. And obviously as a kid, I didn't make a note of this, but I feel like this has shaped me into more of an empathetic person, more understanding of different backgrounds, less picky. And then when I moved to Indiana, these schools were predominantly white, which was a different experience. I feel as though people there were just not as understanding of cultures and backgrounds. And this is going to be a good tool. The fact that this is so instilled in my identity is a good tool in the future, because now I can understand and be more empathetic towards other people. Growing up in Chicago, I also had vast access to museums and educational experiences that I didn't get after moving to the suburbs. Chicago does a really good job at getting their students out on field trips in their public school system, which we would go to the Museum of Science and Industry. This again just fostered more cultural background, more diverse understandings of history and other people. When I moved to Indiana, we didn't really go on many field trips, and the shift made me more aware of privilege, bias, and inequality. So I feel like I'm just a little bit more empathetic. The fourth social fact that I would like to elaborate on is that I hold education and school as very important in my life. A social value is a shared principle or belief that a society accepts as important and accepts as good. I would like to really deep dive into this value, especially now that I'm in college, as it's a huge component of me making friends or deciding whether or not to go out. I believe this value was instilled by my mother, who kind of raised me and my siblings to really have good grades. She wouldn't stalk our grades, but she would monitor them. And we would read those books over the summer. We would do the educational books. My mom is a high school teacher, which is why it kind of fits the bill of us being socialized in this way. As I've grown older and had more autonomy, I believe that I still hold school as such a high value. I recognize that it is a privilege to go to college and pursue higher education. So my identity from holding school as such a high value is that I am pretty smart, I do pretty well in school, and I use it when making friends. With this whole new college experience, I do find myself, when meeting new people, asking them questions on whether or not they go out a lot or if they skip class, which, not to say that I never will do those things, but it is just a value that I look for in other people. I have found that my most ideal friends that I have made so far really do care about school and hold that same value like I do. All these norms and values and kind of social things about me have shaped me into being more empathetic, more understanding of people's feelings, used to having no privacy, and just a little bit more reliable. Thank you.